Deep work, Cal Newport. In a world addicted to noise, urgency, and distraction, Cal Newport presents a rare and powerful message. Deep work is the new superpower. In his book, Deep Work, Newport defines it as focused, undistracted, cognitively, demanding work that pushes your abilities to their limits and creates real value. In contrast, shallow work is fragmented, reactive, and easy to replicate. Deep work is rare, and that's what makes it valuable. Newport argues that modern culture is killing depth. Constant emails, open offices, social media, and multitasking have made sustained focus nearly impossible. But the cost is high. Without depth, we produce less, learn slower, and burn out faster. Shallow habits steal our potential. To rise above the noise, we need to train our attention like a muscle. He introduces two key abilities for thriving in the knowledge economy. 1. Quickly mastering hard things, and 2. Producing at an elite level. Both require deep work. Memorizing facts, watching tutorials, or attending meetings won't get you there. Real growth comes from deliberate practice, deep thinking, and uninterrupted time blocks. Newport explains that deep work is not just a productivity hack, it's a moral stance. Choosing focus in a distracted world is an act of rebellion. It's saying no to digital addiction and yes to craftsmanship, presence, and meaning. It's about becoming not just busier, but better. He also reveals the neurological truth. What you pay attention to shapes your brain. Distraction rewires you to crave more distraction, but focus rewires you for clarity, depth, and flow. Attention is not neutral, it's destiny. What you choose to focus on becomes your mind. Optimized insights. Part 1. Deep work creates value. Shallow work drains it. Focus is a skill, not a personality trait. Sustained attention builds cognitive strength. Modern culture rewards busyness, not depth. Email and social media fragment. Your brain-shallow habits become shallow minds. Digital minimalism is a competitive edge. Mastery requires time, effort, and solitude. Focus shapes your brain's architecture. Deep work isn't optional, it's essential. In Part 2, we'll explore how to build a deep work routine, protect your time from interruption, and train your brain to thrive in silence. If this message resonates, subscribe to the Optimized channel and support this project. With a like, focus isn't old-fashioned, it's the future. Cal Newport continues by showing how to design a life that supports deep work. Focus doesn't happen by accident, it must be engineered. He introduces 4 deep work philosophies to help you structure your time based on your reality. Monastic philosophy. Eliminate or radically minimize shallow obligations. This is for those who can fully disconnect, like authors or scientists. Bimodal philosophy. Divide your time into deep and shallow blocks, like a professor who teaches part of the year and writes the rest. Rhythmic philosophy. Create a daily routine that includes fixed hours of deep work. This builds habit and reduces decision fatigue. Journalistic philosophy. Switch into deep work whenever time becomes available. Requires high discipline and experience. The key is to schedule deep work like appointments. You don't find time, you protect it. Newport recommends working in 90-minute blocks with full focus, no notifications, and clear boundaries. Your phone is not a tool, it's a temptation. Leave it out of reach. He also emphasizes the need to train your brain for boredom. Most people reach for stimulation at the slightest discomfort. But deep work requires comfort with silence. You must resist the urge to check your phone during breaks, in lines, or in elevators. These are micro moments where attention is trained. Learning to be bored without distraction is a super skill. Another powerful idea: track your deep work hours. Set a goal, for example, 4 hours per day, and monitor your progress. This builds momentum and reveals patterns. You'll start seeing when and where you focus best. Clarity creates power. Newport warns about the trap of pseudo-productivity, looking busy but doing shallow tasks. Email, chat, and meetings can feel productive, but rarely are. Deep work may feel slower, but it produces 10x results. Don't confuse activity with impact. Optimized Insights. Part 2. Choose your deep work philosophy intentionally. Schedule focus like any other critical task. Protect time with boundaries and rituals. Train your brain to sit with silence. Discomfort is part of deep growth. Digital stimulation weakens cognitive endurance. Boredom tolerance boosts creative depth. Track deep hours, not just to-do lists. Beware of busyness disguised as value. Slow. Deep effort beats fast, shallow hustle. In Part 3, we'll break down the myths of multitasking, the dangers of distraction, and how to disconnect without guilt. Subscribe now to the Optimized channel and give this a like if you're committed to mastering your attention. Focus isn't a gift, it's your responsibility. In Part 3, Cal Newport exposes one of the most damaging illusions of modern life. Multitasking is a myth. The brain doesn't truly do multiple tasks at once. It switches rapidly between them. And every switch creates a cognitive residue, a lag in attention and energy. Even small distractions, like checking a notification, reduce your mental performance for several minutes afterward. This means that even minor interruptions destroy flow. Flow is the peak state of deep work, where time disappears, ideas flow naturally, and output soars. But it requires full presence. Newport advises eliminating all sources of digital noise during deep work. That includes turning off notifications, closing tabs, and using apps that block distractions. It's not extreme, it's essential. He also critiques the culture of instant response. Many knowledge workers feel pressure to be constantly available, answering emails, chats, and messages immediately. But Newport shows that this creates a reactive mind, not a productive one. Deep thinkers must reclaim their attention. That means setting expectations with yourself and others about when and how you respond. A practical tool he suggests is the shutdown ritual. At the end of your workday, go through a checklist, unfinished tasks, loose ends, priorities for tomorrow. Then close your laptop. Say a phrase like, "Shutdown complete," and disconnect. This tells your brain it's okay to rest. Without this, the mind keeps spinning. And rest never really begins. Newport also emphasizes quality over quantity. Deep work doesn't mean working all day in silence. Just a few hours of true focus often outperform a whole day of shallow effort. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters with clarity and depth. Finally, he reminds us that distraction is profitable for others. Tech companies fight for your attention because it fuels their business. Your time is not free, it's monetized. Choosing deep work is not just productive, it's an act of rebellion against exploitation. Optimized Insights, Part 3. Multitasking is task switching, and it's costly. Small distractions have long recovery times. Notifications are enemies of flow. Constant availability kills deep thinking. Protect your attention like a sacred asset. Create a shutdown ritual to preserve mental space. Communicate your boundaries clearly. Value depth over volume. Tech hijacks attention for profit. Reclaim yours. Focused effort is a modern act of resistance. In the final part, we'll conclude with a deep work lifestyle. How to align your career, habits, and identity with high-impact focus. Subscribe now to the Optimized channel and leave a like if this content is building your discipline. You don't need more time. You need more depth.